Yeah, mostly everything is cleared from yesterday class. Means these are the practical things on daily basis we are using.
इसमें Deepti, anything which you find you want to touch upon about yesterday's class? You remember we had just finished with systematic risk and unsystematic risk. Acha, can any of you explain what is systematic without looking at any notes which you had taken? Can you just remember and tell me what is systematic risk? What is unsystematic risk? Who will take the first question?
Yeah, systematic. I will go first.
Okay, Deepti, you say unsystematic. Vivek, you go for systematic. Start.
Yeah, in means systematic. We know the changes what we can need and how we can manage the things. Means we get the example. We know that product is not profitable for us. So why should we kept it? We can sell it to other who is capable to marketizing that product. So you gave a best example for company. Means Ford company. He is manufacturing motors. Means even trucks, tractors, and other segments. So luxurious things he sold out to the Tata.
That particular thing which we spoke about, that was the concept of retrenchment. जो आप अभी बोल रहे हो ना, वो retrenchment था. अच्छा दीप्ति आप बताइए systematic क्या है?
Sir, systematic is in which all the companies are affected, but they do not have any solution, like increase in tax rate by government. So all the companies were equally affected by it. And other example should be COVID-19 that affects all the company equally.
Very
and
nice.
Unsystematic means when a particular company affect with an situation like if the company get strike by their workers, then a particular company only get affected, not the whole market.
Very nice. Actually,
now I understood.
You're just thinking of the. I'll just wait a minute. Let me share the thing. I'll show you. आपको कहाँ पे क्या चीज आप जो बोल रहे थे वो क्या था? I just want to show you that.
Okay, I recall actually maybe that time I was another diverted.
See, you were talking about this.
Okay.
ये Ford था. Retrenchment का. See, जो goals होते हैं companies के, वो goals कई तरह के हो सकते हैं. It can be growth. So growth is कि you want to expand. You can expand by the way I explained कि vertical integration or backward integration, as Deepti was saying yesterday. That can be one way. I am producing, let's say, steel. I buy an iron ore mine. ठीक है. I am producing auto parts. मैं ancillary की unit खरीद लूं. You know, do something जहां जो आपका supplier जो आपको जो भी चीज दे रहा है, whatever your supplier is giving you, basically you buy that company itself. So you don't have to buy anything. Now everything is with you. That is the concept in when you want to go for vertical integration. Now, stability is very simple. I am just maintaining what I have. Retrenchment was what you were mentioning, Vivek. See, in here what is happening in retrenchment, I have many parts of my business. The example I was giving here was that bank is there. The core business is banking. But as the bank became bigger and bigger, they decided to sell insurance also. So they had an insurance subsidiary. They began also giving insurance. One good example here is you can look at ICICI. ICICI, the core business is banking, but they also have insurance. Now, if you ask the ICICI management, for you, which is the main, obviously they will say banking is our main business. Now, tomorrow, if ICICI decides that they are not doing so well, let us get rid of anything which is other than our core business, the non-core part. Core is main. So the what is not main? They will say, okay, this insurance wing, this I think is disturbing things. Many people are, our employees are getting distracted because of selling insurance. They should focus on banking. तो ऐसा करते हैं कि इसको बेच देते हैं. So they get rid of that. And once they get rid of it, they will focus on this. So they are reducing the size of their own company. So this is retrenchment. And of course, the last one was reinvention, where you change the way you do the business. So here I was giving this example. If Amazon used to be a bookstore, an online bookstore, and then it went off to become an online portal. Then we will just look at, and see, we were talking about diversification, the concept of systematic and unsystematic risk. This came mainly because of diversification. So if I want to protect myself against risk, so I invest in certain companies. In fact, for like Deepti, tomorrow, like when you begin earning money on your own, you might invest in the share market. When you go and invest in the share market, it will always be advisable for you to invest in many companies, small amounts in many companies, rather than big amount in one company. See, if you do big amount in one company and that company does not do well, unsystematic risk, some problem arises with that particular company, then what will happen? You will lose your money. But if you do, let's say 5 companies, small amounts, I have 1 lakh, I put 25,000 in 4 companies. One company doesn't do well, one company does moderately well, and 2 companies do pretty well. Then what will happen? At the end of the day, I will make some profit at least. And whatever profit I make on these 3 companies, which are at least doing a little bit well, I will be able to set off the loss that I make from the company which is in trouble and which does not do well. So in that way, I can basically protect myself from the risk of my investment going bad. So diversification basically means invest in many things. At a personal level, it works like this. At the company level, it will work in a different way. At the company level, it will be, instead of basing myself on one product, why don't I have many products? So if one product does not take off, then at least the other product will do well. Let's say that I am an auto company. I am making cars. So instead of making only, let's say, mass produced cars like, let's say, Maruti 800, I begin to make the whole range of cars. I also make commercial vehicles, like, for example, trucks, heavy vehicles. You take the Tata range, look at Tata's range of vehicles. They are making every type of vehicle. So that is a form of diversification within the same industry. So basically what is happening is, if for some reason, let's say the Tata, what examples are, will you remember? Indica, let's say. Tata Indica or Tata Tigor, these cars don't do so well. Then maybe the trucks will do well. Recently, you may have seen, Tata has made a big investment in electric vehicles. So they are today probably producing the largest number of electric vehicles, I think larger than any other company in India. So they have already developed one line of business in which they have made substantial investment to protect themselves from the competition they are facing in the normal, let's say the regular internal combustion engine business, the one which we use, the normal cars, petrol cars, diesel cars, what we use, those are basically internal combustion engines. So instead of old model stuff. So let's say that there's a heavy competition here. So they decided, let us go for electric vehicles. Electric vehicles made the future at when they started was a little uncertain. It was not very sure whether electric vehicles will take off or they will not take off. So they said, let's take a risk. Let's invest in electric vehicles. And if we invest in electric vehicles, what will happen is, if we are able to win the confidence of the people and begin to make money here, then this will be an excellent diversification for us. We will have created one profit center other than the ordinary petrol and diesel vehicles that we are selling. And because of that diversification, in this case, it was a success. The strategy was a success. So probably they are making more money on the electric vehicles today than on the petrol diesel. That does not mean petrol diesel is being neglected. That also they are doing. But this is there also. This is an example of diversification taken right from the modern business context. Okay, so this was one thing. So we understand risk, systematic, unsystematic. Deepti and you, I think, both understand this well now. These were the examples that we had taken yesterday, where we spoke about those risks which affect the economy as a whole as being systematic risk. And see, when you say systematic, think of the economic system. The best way to remember this is, think of systematic as the adjective of the word. I'm using a grammatical term. The adjective of the word, not adjective, actually it's an adverb. The adverb of the verb risk. Okay, so their systematic risk is basically when the economy itself, the economic system itself is in trouble. Everybody is operating in the economic system. So if the economy itself is going to go into trouble, and then naturally all companies will be affected. And the other one, unsystematic, means an individual company faces a problem. So I think this is where we had reached yesterday. So we can now probably move to the next segment. Diversification. Okay, unsystematic. This is again, I think, the same as what the point which we were making. Basically, just remember, unsystematic, you can protect yourself through diversification. Diversification, always remember, is a way of protecting yourself from loss in one particular line. You put your money in one particular type of industry, in one particular type of product. To protect yourself from that, you diversify. You introduce other things also. Let us also remember that there are strategies. See, we are talking about diversification as a way of reducing risk, but there are some companies, this I'm telling you as a practical thing. There are some companies which do not believe in diversification. If I say Gillette, Gillette, what do you think of? Gillette.
Sir, the company who sells the product related to men's grooming, like shaving creams and razors.
Basically shaving. See,
Personal hygiene product.
everything that they sell is all related to shaving. And I'm sure that since, men have now started growing beards, including Vivek, the market for Gillette must be going down. Because I think ever since Virat Kohli began to wear a beard, the impact it has had on Indian males at least has been just too much. Our generation, we never kept beards. But so Gillette was good. Gillette used to make a lot of money. Today, every I think, out of 5 people, 3 people have beards. So Gillette focuses only on this. Men's, you can't even say grooming. They're only looking at one small part of the grooming. So Gillette is not making hair oil. Not for people like me, but Gillette does not make hair oil at all. They are only looking at shaving creams, razors, huge variety of razors, electric razors, all that, but never anything else. So this company, see, what they are banking on is, we have developed an identity where the moment I say Gillette, people think about shaving. So they say that this is what we want. We don't want to dilute this. This is the opposite of diversification. So this is, I am concentrating on one product only. I am not going to do anything else. Just to give you an idea that diversification is not the only strategy. So, but both these are corporate strategies. See, one is a corporate strategy which is based on reducing risk by investing in many types of industries, many types of products, many types of investments, whichever is the applicable case. And one is focusing entirely on one product. There are some companies which actually do very well by doing this. And what happens is they become so good at what they do that it becomes very, very hard for a competitor to challenge them in their chosen field. For example, Gillette, it's very hard to compete with Gillette. They manage to maintain a certain level of market share. They manage to do what they are doing, and they do it well. So this is one. Then, this is the point I was making here, single product company. I was, in this case, giving an example here of showing what is the risk that a company can face if it goes for a single product. For example, a company may sell detergents for washing clothes. This is the only product that it produces and sells. This is like a Gillette type of strategy. Now, this is the strategy of the company. It allows the company to specialize in this product. It can conduct research on different types of detergents. It can show its consumers that it makes the best detergent. So here, Vivek, I am giving you a Gillette type of. If there is a company which is making detergents. This is a hypothetical example. Okay, so they are focusing only on this. Now, what is the risk in this strategy? If another company manages to reduce the price of its detergents substantially, or come up with a better product, or offer a better deal to its distributors. Remember, to sell a product, you have to use a certain channel. The channel is mostly you go to distributors, wholesalers, and then finally the product reaches the retailer. If somebody else does this better than you, offers the, let's say, distributor a better margin, then what happens is that you will lose market share. You know, I remember a few years back, we were doing a survey for Finolex. Finolex is a company which makes pipes. You know, they are very good at making pipes, and in some respects, they make the best pipes, but the pipes are expensive. Now, the Finolex management, they asked us to make a survey in Pune to find out why their sales are not going up, or what are the problems that the retailers feel that they are facing with selling their product, because they were facing heavy competition from other pipe companies. For example, Astral, A-S-T-R-A-L. Okay. So this company was a cheaper product, lighter pipe, product is cheap, it was selling more. So when we began conducting this survey, two things came. You know, they said, and remember, Finolex again is a company which is making only plumbing, pipes mainly, nothing else. Also, like something like a single product company. Pipes for commercial buildings, they will make pipes for irrigation, all those different types of pipes. So when we began conducting this particular survey, what came out very clearly was that the competitor companies, those who are competing against Finolex, those companies are selling their pipes at a lower price, number one. And number two, those companies were offering the distributors more credit. Vivek, you will understand this because this is something which you will also face.
Yes, yes, sir.
Deepti, when I say more credit, what do I mean? Think if you can understand this. So no, it doesn't matter. It's just trying to see whether you can pick it up. The word credit means being given more time to pay. So that basically means we will give you the pipes today. Don't pay us today. You can pay us after a week. You can pay us after 2 weeks. Now, Finolex would insist that these companies pay immediately. Because Finolex was, considered itself to be the market leader. So they said, no, if you want our pipes, you pay immediately. And the builders, their biggest buyers were the builders. Commercial buildings, they need lots of pipes. So the builders would say, we are willing to buy your product. Your price is so high, but we can still buy your product. But give us more time to pay. And if you don't give us time, then it's very difficult for us to buy your product. Now, Astral Pipes, which is trying to, cut into the market share of Finolex, they would offer better terms to their buyers. They would say, okay, you can pay us after 15 days. Doesn't matter. Take the pipes now, arrange the money, pay us after 15 days. So that is if you're a single product company, this can be a problem for you. And in this case, it was a problem for Finolex. They were worried enough to spend money on our consulting firm to come and actually look at the problem. You understand? So these are some of the risks which can come. Now, in this particular case, this hypothetical example that I am giving, how can the company reduce the risk? Now, in this particular case, what it will have to do is it can either try to enter into a pricing war. They are giving less, we give even more, let's say lower than the costs which are there in the market. Or we begin to offer a better deal to the distributors. It can conduct a marketing campaign to show that its product is equally good or better. Finolex was opting for this one. Their marketing campaign was emphasizing this, that if you buy any other company, pipes made by any other company, basically you're buying something which has an inferior quality. So please buy my pipes. Okay, then. So these strategies may work, but in each case, the company will reduce its profit. See, if you reduce your price, your profit goes down. If you offer your distributors a higher margin, more commission, your profit will again go down. If you run a marketing campaign, your expenses will go up, your profit will come down. So now to meet the competition, the only way for you is to do something which will reduce your profit. So this is the risk in a single product. Now, another option is to enter into a joint venture with a foreign detergent company that has good technology and then produce an improved quality detergent. So then I try to beat my competition. But this is a long-term game. This will not make a difference in a month or two. You will have to find a partner with the appropriate technology. You will have to enter into some sort of a deal with this person. That deal may or may not be, beneficial for you. So there are lots and lots of angles here. Business is a very tricky thing, that way. So the strategy will mean that the foreign company will share in the profits. So the company may end up losing. See, what I am writing here is hypothetical. But for you, what you need to think of is strategy is a very, very tricky game. So when you made your original strategy to focus only on detergents and not on other products, this is the risk that you have. This is the risk that you basically took by opting for that strategy. And because of that, these are the problems that you face. Now, why does Gillette not face this problem? Why do you think Gillette is able to overcome this particular problem? Phenol-X is a big name in India, but it still faces this problem. Gillette, like we were just saying, it's so well known. Why do you think it didn't face this problem?
Other companies are also available, but they had a standard, means as compared to Gillette. Gillette has a standard
Yes.
quality.
See,
Sir, I think because they started early and people follow their goodwill, they like their goodwill, so they stick to with that company.
So when you say people follow their goodwill, the word to use, technical word, is brand equity. This is a word you can note. Brand equity. So that is, the Gillette brand is so well known and people trust that brand. They trust it for all, they feel that the price which Gillette charges is correct. The quality is excellent and it is consistent. So people who have used Gillette for, let's say, 10 years, 20 years, they will tell you that they always offered you and then it gives you innovative products. For example, this Vivek, before you started your beard, Vivek, maybe when you were shaving, in those days, you may have used something like a Mark II or a Mark III, a razor with 3 blades or a razor with 2 blades. So these were things which were not there in the market before Gillette. Or Gillette also came out with something like a disposable razor. Take a very low price razor, use it and throw it away. So these were innovations in the product which Gillette was able to make, probably because it was focusing entirely on shaving products only. So a single product company faces the same risk that an investor who invests in only one security does. And remember, security is what? Both of you remember the word security? Quick example of security. A share, a fixed deposit.
It's maybe a bond,
Return,
share, or
return.
debenture of a company.
Of a company, a mutual fund unit, any financial, any document which gives you a financial claim. If you have a fixed deposit, you have a claim on the bank for the amount of the deposit because you deposited that money there. If you buy shares of a company, you have a claim on the company for the amount of the share, whatever is the market value. You cannot demand the same value, but whatever is the market value today, because the share price keeps going up and down, you have a claim on that because you have a share. So a single product company will face the same risk that an investor who invests in only one security has. The success of the company depends entirely on the sales of that single product. So that risk is always there. One way out of this problem is to adopt a diversification strategy. This is where the diversification becomes useful. So how can the company diversify? So one is get another product, develop one more product, begin to sell that. In the example I was giving you earlier, where Tata went for electric vehicles, this is again a very bold sort of decision, because that other product which it decided to focus on, electric vehicles, is a product which required a lot of investment, on their part. But still, they did that. in our detergent example, you can think like this. Suppose the detergent company decides to sell toilet cleaners and dishwashing liquid also. It will have to make an investment in plant and machinery, and overhead costs will increase. But the company can jointly market all its products. See, we have seen how companies in India today are diversifying their product range, especially those companies which are successful. Let's take the example in the kitchen segment. Let's think of Borosil. You know Borosil?
So, glassware company before that. Still glassware, but nowadays it's in all the segments.
Exactly. Very good, Vivek. So basically, Borosil began as a glassware company concentrating on microwave safe, utensils. So any glassware made by Borosil could be safely put in a microwave and it would not break. This was the advantage which Borosil had. And they began to develop this pretty well. And then they decided to go for other things also. So you have Borosil kitchen appliances of all kinds. So this is again a case of diversification, because probably they would have realized that nowadays just focusing on microwave safe glassware is not good enough for us. So what is the result of this? It allows it to reduce the risk and also to grow as a company. Why grow? Because that new product which you have added, if it begins to sell well, if it sells properly, then what will happen is that you will be able to have more sales, more profits, and your value as a company will increase. Your brand will get stronger. This is a classic diversification strategy. Okay. Now let's look at different types of diversification. So one is business.
So I want to ask that why only diversification of product, by doing diversification in products only, will the company will get success, or if the company do not diversificate in taking credit or taking loan from the market, then they will succeed.
Okay, I see. You'll have to ask the question more clearly here, Deepti. What you're saying is that if the company diversifies, see, not diversificate, the word you'll use is diversify. So if the company diversifies, are you asking, is there a guarantee that it will be successful? Is that what you're saying?
Sir, I am asking that अगर कोई company diversification करती है अपने products के लिए और वो उसके chances succeed होने के हैं, no doubt हैं, लेकिन अगर कोई company सिंगल डाइवर्सिफिकेशन नहीं करती, सिर्फ सिंगल प्रोडक्ट के साथ रहती है और डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करती है जब वो लोन लेती है, तो क्या वो सक्सेस होने के चांस कम हो जाएंगे?
नहीं, देखो अलग अलग चीजें हैं। यहां पर स्ट्रैटेजी अगर हम कॉर्पोरेट ऑब्जेक्टिव करेंगे, तो लोन लेती है मतलब क्या कहना चाह रही है कि वो अलग अलग बैंक से लोन ले, अलग रेट्स पर लोन ले?
लोन ले रही है, जैसे कि बैंक से लोन ले रही है, ठीक है, फिर पब्लिक ऑफरिंग से लोन ले रही है, म्यूचुअल फंड से, अलग अलग जगह से लोन ले रही है, तो क्या उसके चांसेस कम होंगे?
नहीं, ऐसा है, दैट इज ओनली गोइंग टू टच द कॉस्ट ऑफ फंड्स. व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज ना, if the company goes for many financers, वो अपने जो sources of loans हैं, sources of finance, देखो ट्रेडिशनली किसी भी कंपनी के पास में पैसे कहाँ से आते हैं? एक है जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, they buy shares in the company, that is one part. Yes. And then there is debt. You remember from your commerce? Yes. Debt. Yes. So debt में what are the types of debt? एक type of debt है जहां बॉन्ड्स इशू करती है कंपनी और उसमें जो लोएस्ट पॉसिबल रेट वो कोट कर सकती है, वो कोट करती है। जैसे वो कहती है कि ठीक है भाई, हम 8% देंगे, जिसको इन्वेस्ट करना हो खरीद दो, ये 10-10 हजार रुपए के बॉन्ड है, 7 साल के बाद पैसे वापस हो जाएंगे, अभी से लेके 7 साल तक वी विल बी पेइंग यू इंटरेस्ट। एंड इन दिस वे, many thousands of people buy your bonds, you are able to get some money from the public. So this can be one source of finance. Another source can be you go to a bank, you take a loan. This is another source of finance. A third source of finance can be I try to get a strategic investor. He gives me a big amount of money as debt. And what is the impact of diversifying my sources of finance? See, here what you are saying is you are diversifying the sources of finance. आपकी जो प्रोडक्ट है या जो आपकी जो बेसिक कोर एक्टिविटी है उसमें कोई चेंजेस नहीं आ रहा है. That you are going to be doing exactly what you were doing, but you are only diversifying the cost of the finance part. Different you are getting from different financiers. Now, when you diversify cost of finance, the only aim that you have in mind is to reduce your cost. Then आपको ये लगता है कि बैंक वाले मुझसे अगर 12% ले रहे हैं इंटरेस्ट, तो अगर मैं बॉन्ड से पैसे रेज कर लूं और मैं 10% में काम चला लूं तो कम से कम मुझे 2% का फायदा हो जाएगा. तो आई कैन थिंक ऑफ इट लाइक दैट. या अगर मैं कोई स्ट्रेटेजिक इन्वेस्टर को ले आऊं और वो मुझे और कम में दे देता है तो वो ठीक है. बट द कंपनी का जो विजन, मिशन, गोल, दैट इज ऑल अबाउट प्रोडक्ट. यू अंडरस्टैंड? ये जो पार्ट है, जो फाइनेंस का पार्ट है, स्ट्रैटेजी इसके बाद शुरू होती है. द फर्स्ट पार्ट इज अरेंज फॉर द मनी. आपके पास कैपिटल होनी चाहिए. द कैपिटल, लेट्स से it is funded by borrowing also, it is funded by investors also. Once you have that capital, where will you use this capital? In what sort of business will you use this capital? यहां पर जो स्ट्रैटेजी की बात हो रही है, it is that strategy. What you are saying is not incorrect. You are right. If you can have many people giving you finance and you manage to get from different sources, and if this results in the cost of finance coming down, that's a good thing. अच्छी बात है. It will reduce your cost. Cost of production ultimately कम हो जाएगा. But what do you want to produce? Question यहाँ पर है. Do I want to produce only pipes, only detergents, only shaving creams, or do I want to produce another product also? If I choose to do another product also, then I am going for diversification. Okay, this was the point. Basically, थोड़ा सा difference हो जाता है in the way you look at it. Now, another look at this diversification. Business level, corporate level. Now, in business level, introduce a new product in the same industry in which the company is presently operating. अब जैसे मैं अगर डिटर्जेंट बना रहा हूं तो मैं एक नई टाइप की डिटर्जेंट बना लूं. Let's say कि I was making detergent powder, now I begin to make detergent liquid, or I begin to make detergent cubes. एक क्यूब ले जाओ, एक वॉशिंग मशीन में डाल लो, एक लोड इससे धुल जाएगा. Something like that. एक इसका एग्जांपल्स, कंपनी प्रेजेंटली सेल्स, लेट्स से द कंपनी आज के दिन में क्या बेच रही है? डिटर्जेंट पाउडर फॉर मैनुअल वॉशिंग. और वो नया क्या निकालती है? डिटर्जेंट लिक्विड. सो ये एक बिजनेस लेवल डाइवर्सिफिकेशन हो रहा है. टूथपेस्ट बनाती है, अब हम टूथब्रश बनाने लगते हैं. कंपनीज एक्चुअली डू दीज थिंग्स. गाड़ियां हम बनाते हैं, हम एसयूवीज बनाने लगे. So these are at the product level. Customers आपके same है. The same customer who comes to a showroom to buy a car, some of these customers will also buy SUVs. अगर आप उन्हें दिखाएंगे SUVs, some of them will definitely want to buy the SUV. That is one. Now, corporate level diversification में आप क्या करेंगे कि you will make a new range of products, maybe for a different market. The two products may not be connected in any way. ये भी possible है. Examples of corporate level diversification. Presently selling, let's say right now you're selling cars and you decide to sell chemicals. Okay? You are selling locks and safes. Godrej का सोचो. And you begin to sell kitchen utensils. आप देखेंगे गोदरेज का जो रेंज है प्रोडक्ट्स का, they began as a company which was making locks, almiras, safes, this sort of thing. But today look at the range where Godrej is. They are making so many other products also. And this type of diversification, where you begin to let's say, move into a different market. That essentially is my corporate level diversification. Because the nature of the business is changing now. The customers for these products are different. There is no relation between them. And in this business level, basically the customers were the same. But in this, the customer for the products itself are different. Somebody who's buying a car and somebody who's buying chemicals will be two different people. So think diversification here of two different types. Let's say one is a smaller type of thing, one is a bigger thing, bigger decision. Now let's look at another aspect. This concept of business models. Let's understand the concept first. So, when we say that a company is formed to make a profit, let's take it at the simplest level. Why did we form the company? The basic idea was to, produce something, sell that at a higher cost, ultimately make a profit. Now, when I say business model, I want to look at the entire flow of activities from the beginning till the end, which resulted in this company making profit. For example, the business model will answer these questions. Think of it like this. What product will the company make, or what service will it provide? I formed a company. मेरे पास पैसे आ गए. I have the money to form a company. Now the question is, मैं क्या बनाऊंगा? What will I make? Or if I am not a manufacturing company, what will be the service that I will provide? Will it be a legal service? Will it be an IT service? Will it be a medical service? क्या होगा इसमें? You see, if you look at service companies, you will see that in any industry, there are a number of companies which only provide service. You take the case of Dr. Lal Path Labs. Dr. Lal Pathology. See, it's basically, what do they do? If you want a blood test, you want to go to a laboratory, give a blood sample, and then you want a very accurate result, a good diagnosis, and you want it at the earliest. And you want it, if possible, in a few hours on your WhatsApp. And you want this particular service to be reliable. So one of the biggest providers of this is Dr. Lal Path Labs. Okay, so for their business model, the first question, what does it provide, is it provides a pathological diagnostic service. Okay, number one. Number two, who will buy the company's products? Where is the opportunity? So when Dr. Lal Path Labs was formed, they said, who will buy my product? So basically it would be anybody who has fallen sick, who has gone to a doctor, who has recommended a certain test. He requires to get his blood or urine or anything tested. He requires a good, reliable laboratory. So everybody potentially who has money in his pocket is is a person who may need my company's products. Anybody can fall sick. If you fall sick and you have some money in your pocket and you go to a doctor and the doctor recommends something, some tests, you need a reliable place to go. And so Dr. Lal Pathlab said that, okay, let us have a chain. Every town practically today has this Dr. Lal Pathlab's laboratory. They invested a lot in, in creating a system of, of computerized diagnosis that resulted in giving them a lot of success. So the market is clear. What are the raw materials and how can they be procured? So in this particular case, what is the raw material? Basically, to have a test, what are the chemicals that they require? Apart from that, the only other thing they require is qualified technical people who can make those tests. What are the human resources? Those qualified people there. 5, what will be the marketing and sales strategy? So in the case of a diagnostic company making this sort of thing, the sales strategy or the marketing is entirely based on selling one thing. Whatever, when you come to us and we give you a report, the report is reliable. You can trust us. If we say that a person has diabetes or his sugar levels have gone up, then it is correct. If you come to us again, you will find that the same, something in the same range will come. Will the company, then the next thing, will the company use the chain of distributors, wholesalers, retailers? Now, this, of course, will not apply with Dr. Lal Pathlab, but this will apply with mostly manufacturing companies, where there is a physical problem of lifting the products from the factory and taking it to the end user, the consumer. Like if a company is making detergents, so huge trucks of these detergents will move from the factory to a distributor, to a wholesaler, to a retailer, and then finally the customer goes and picks it up. So that whole chain, the company will have to put a system in place where this entire chain is working in sync with each other. All of them have to be focused correctly. All of them have to be in a position to, let's say, the retailer orders from the wholesaler immediately passes it on to the distributor delivers the goods to the wholesaler delivers the goods to the retailer. Let's say it's something like this. And then immediately the distributor, let's say, lets the company, the manufacturing company know that I need another consignment of products because my stocks are going low. The moment I get another order, I will not be able to fulfill that order. So many companies have made this entire process computerized. So basically what happens is the retailer to wholesaler to the manufacturer, the entire process moves seamlessly. Yahan order hua, and that order by the end of the day is with the pura consolidate hoke, that those orders all reach the manufacturing center, and the distribution people there, the sales people, they are in a position to actually send the consignments to the wholesalers who will send it onwards to the distributors. There are some companies who are so good at this that a retailer who falls short of that product is able to receive the product within a few hours. Can you imagine this? Which company am I talking about? Any wild guess? It's a paint company.
And paint.
Asian Paints. Now, Asian Paints is a company which has become, made a lot of money on the market, increased its market share, mainly on the strength of this strategy. What it has told people is, you don't need to buy large amounts of paint from me. Because see, if a retailer buys a large amount of paint, his money gets blocked in that purchase. The more paint he buys, the more money he needs. Retailers may not have a lot of money. So Asian Paint said, you can buy a small consignment. The retailer asked a question, if I buy a small consignment and if tomorrow I suddenly need more paint and I ask you for it, how long will it take you for it to deliver that paint to me? And they say, no, we will give it to you in a few hours. We'll give it to you, let's say, in 5 hours, in 10 hours. So by the end of the day, in any case, you will receive the paint. So why do you want to, buy a large consignment? Now, what happens is, any retailer, you think about this, if you are a retailer, you would love to deal with Asian Paints because you require less capital. You require less capital. You can buy small consignments of paint from the company. And as your customers buy that paint, the moment you find you are reaching the end of your stock, you can then ask them to deliver to you. Within a few hours, you get the paint and that's it. And then you can continue. So the total amount of capital that is blocked is less. Now, this is again a marketing and sales strategy where more than the product, the ability to supply the product. See, the product doesn't have to be the best. Asian Paints is not the best paints on the market. But there was a time when it had the largest market share. This is a company which has survived almost, I would say, about 80 years. And it is doing well consistently. Always makes good profit. Why? Because they have taken their business model and they have made it as efficient as possible. So business model is this. When a company is formed, how will it make that profit? What will it produce? Who will it sell the products to? Where will it get the raw material it requires? What sort of human resources do they need? What will be their marketing and sales strategy? All these things, you put it together into one box. That is your business model. Okay. And other aspect, to understand this business model, you come to the concept of a value proposition. This is a typical management term, value proposition. Any ideas? Deepti, have you ever come across this word? Vivek, value
No idea, sir.
No idea? Okay. So, okay, no problem. We understand this concept in the next slide. So, value proposition. So, a value proposition, if you want to define it, is a concise statement. Concise means brief. Is a brief statement of the value that the company offers through its goods or services. So basically, just let's look at this, you'll understand. It answers this question. Value proposition जो है वो इस सवाल का जवाब दे रहा है. Why should a customer buy the company's products or services? Customer मेरे कंपनी की प्रोडक्ट क्यों खरीदेगा? क्या ऐसा मेरे पास है जो किसी कस्टमर को चाहिए जिसके लिए वो पैसे देने के लिए तैयार है? What does the customer have today? Okay. So, when you explain to the customer why you should buy, that statement which you will make, you will have to say something. Na? That statement which you make, that statement should be such that the customer feels that it is better to buy this product rather than other similar products in the market. Because there is competition. Competition to both the market. So what you will have to convince the customer that they should come to you. And that statement that you make about what value your product offers. आप ये सोचो, मेरा जो भी product है और जो भी service है, what डज इट गिव माई कस्टमर? कस्टमर को क्या मिलता है इससे? If I am buying a Gillette shaving cream, what is the value that I am getting? This is the question which I need to ask myself. And this is critical. It is your primary marketing tool. Company के लिए ये बहुत ही important है. Because इसी बिना पर वो marketing करेगी tools की. और इस value proposition के 3 components हैं. Number 1, a product, आप यहां शुरू कर, a product will not have value in all markets. हर एक जगह ये the same product may not have a value everywhere. For example, if I am selling a high priced car, तो ये कार हमारी ये सिर्फ उन लोगों के लिए फायदेमंद है जिनके पास में हायर इनकम. अदरवाइज इस गाड़ी की जो जिनके पास पैसे कम है, they do not have the money to buy the car, हमारी जो गाड़ियां हैं वो खरीदेंगे नहीं. सो वो वाला जो मार्केट का सेगमेंट है, दैट सेगमेंट इज डिनाइड टू मी. वो हमारे लिए वो नहीं है. आई नीड टू फोकस ऑन दोज पीपल हु ऑलरेडी हैव हाई इनकम्स. सो टारगेट मार्केट, आइडेंटिफाई द कस्टमर सेगमेंट that is likely to buy the product. So value proposition में you need to ask yourself this question: मेरा product कौन खरीदेगा? Who are the people who are going to buy this product? क्या will the young people buy my product? Will single individuals buy the product? Families के लिए ये क्या ज्यादा ठीक होगा? Will it be better for high income level people? Will it be there for low income people? जितने तरह से आप पॉपुलेशन को डिवाइड कर सकते हैं उतने तरह से यू कैन इवन गो फॉर अ जियोग्राफिक डिवीजन. यू कैन से दैट क्या ये उन लोगों के लिए होगा जो देश के लेट्स से जो कोस्टल एरियाज है वहां रहते हैं, उनके लिए ज्यादा फायदेमंद होगा ये. ओके, you can say that this can be better for people who live in the hills. तो पहाड़ी क्षेत्र में रहते हैं उनके लिए ये शायद ज्यादा काम आएगा. ये जूते उनके लिए खास करके है. This is not meant for other people because इनकी कीमत ज्यादा है, उनको फायदा ज्यादा होगा वहां पर. It has a better grip, better soles. तो उनके लिए ठीक है. You have to identify exactly which demographic you are looking at. Then what is the specific value the product offers? क्या मिलता है इससे? As when I say what is the specific value in comparison with the other people who are selling this, there are other people ना selling. अगर आप let's say जूते बना रहे हैं अगर आप, तो और कई कंपनियां हैं जो जूते बना रही हैं. तो आपकी कंपनी जो आप जो जूते बना रहे हैं वो उनसे किस वे में बेटर है? इज इट बिकॉज माने आप क्या what is the statement you are making in your value proposition? कि we offer the best quality? क्या ये आप कह रहे हैं? Or are you saying कि it is the best price? Or are you saying it is the best at this price? ये भी एक होता है ना कि इस कीमत पे सबसे अच्छी. और कोई और कहेगा कि इससे कम में तो कोई मिल ही नहीं सकता. अगर इससे कम में कोई मिल गया तो पैसे वापस. You get all sorts of variety in this. Then quality, price, best design and style. भाई इससे ज्यादा वेल डिजाइंड प्रोडक्ट है ही नहीं. आप मेरे वाले लो, यू विल गेट द बेस्ट डिजाइंड प्रोडक्ट. इज इट क्विक सर्विस? जैसे कई बार हम लोग जो फास्ट फूड रेस्टोरेंट्स में जाते हैं, वी आर लुकिंग फॉर दैट ना, फूड विच इज डिलीवर्ड फास्ट. तो लेट्स से somebody comes कि we offer the fastest. For example, if you order किसका वो वाला है जो which says
Domino's 30 minutes.
Domino's का 30 minutes, that is their एक तरह से value proposition वो है. Now it doesn't mean कि this is the only part of their value proposition. It also जो भी पिज्जा वो बनाते हैं वो those are good, प्रोडक्ट उनकी अच्छी है, But they offer one more thing. आप घर पे हो, you are feeling hungry, you want a pizza. अगर आप ऑर्डर करेंगे तो भाई 30 मिनट के अंदर अंदर आपके घर तक वो पहुंच जाएगा. और in the case of a diagnostic laboratory, some of them offer कि we can give you the result in 3 hours. That is the value they are offering. आप तकलीफ में हैं, आप मेरे पास आए हैं, एक ब्लड टेस्ट हुआ है, you are desperately in need of the result. ठीक है, आपको मैं within the next, let's say 3 hours, we'll be able to give this to you. तो तीसरा पार्ट जो है इसका, that is a slightly intangible thing. ये बहुत साफ उस वे में नहीं है, not like the other two. कि customer connection, कि the marketing style must appeal to the customer. It should connect emotionally with them. If you remember Cadbury's का एक ad आता था ना, कुछ मीठा हो जाए. You might remember this ad. एक
Yeah, it's still
कुछ
means कुछ मीठा हो जाए.
कुछ मीठा हो जाए. See, yes, Deepti?
Sir, it's on Raksha Bandhan and Diwali. They are most doing this type.
हाँ, आपकी आवाज बहुत साफ नहीं आ रही है दीप्ति, थोड़ा सा देखो जरा. What is wrong?
Sir, now it's clear.
Little better, हाँ. हाँ. So,
Sir,
okay.
so now it's audible.
हाँ, now it's better. Now it's better, दीप्ति. क्या कह रहे थे आप?
Sir, on Raksha Bandhan and Diwali, they mostly do this type of
Ah,
ads.
yes. So, see, they are connecting with you, na? Through
Yes.
this particular ad, there is a connect. That connect is also part of that value proposition. Once you connect with them, you will be able to understand what they are saying. You will maybe believe their message. So, this value proposition thing is a very, it's not as simple as it looks. You're thinking in terms of the target market, you're thinking in terms of the actual value of the product, and you're also thinking about this, the whole marketing style. Phenolex pipes का आप देख, इसके example मैं आपको दे रहा था. I gave this example mainly because I actually worked, with the company for a while. As a consultant, we are doing that. So what do? They make builders of commercial and residential complex, individual consumers who may want to replace a pipe. इनके market तो यही है. This is the target market. Specific value वो क्या दे रहे हैं? वो कहते हैं कि our pipes are the best. They are the thickest pipes, the most durable, and they are best for the building, your commercial building, in the long run. तो इनका कहना है कि जो pipes building में, I remember this is the word they had used, it is like the circulatory system of the building. जैसे जो हमारे body में जो veins वगैरह हैं, जो veins and arteries, they take blood, they bring back blood from the heart. So that the pipe is like that. Because this is inside the building. Or inka replacement is difficult. So they say buy the best. This is how they say that we are charging you more because we are giving you something which is durable. Pipes को replace करना in a building is very difficult because उसके लिए आपको actually तोड़-फोड़ मचाने पड़ेंगे building में. तभी फिर आप pipes तक पहुंच पाएंगे और तभी उसका replacement हो पाएगा. And it's generally a very costly affair. So they say that we are not the cheapest. They are very clearly telling you, look, we are not among the cheapest suppliers of pipes in the market. And we don't want to be the cheapest. We want to give you the best quality. This is the point. The connection which they are making actually is more of a pitch where they organize meetings with builders and with their distributors, with their retailers. They make presentations on the quality aspects of their pipe. जो अच्छे customers हैं, उनके testimonials को वहां पर वो लेके जाते हैं, उनकी बातें वो रखते हैं सामने में. Or they always make this point कि we have been in this business for a very long time and we are reliable. Our pipes are tested by time. So over all these years, our pipes have done well. Therefore, trust us. So they are trying, this is the way they are presenting their value their pipes have. This is their value proposition. Now we come to a slightly different thing, types of business models. Okay. पहले तो हमने explain किया कि what the business model is. Now we look at different types, because पहले क्या होता था कि जो end product होता था business का, it was sold from a physical shop. एक दुकान होती थी, physical shop, and it was sold there. All our markets are based on that. So whenever we go to a market and we see the lights of the market and everything else, that is all part of a business model which relies entirely on a physical store. Now, what I'm trying to show you here is that there are many other ways, many other models are available which allow a business to make money. See, model ultimately is showing you a way of taking your product to the customer. So one way of taking it to the customer is you take your product, make it available at a store, customer comes to the store and he buys the product. This is one way. Now the other way is it can be done through an e-commerce website. This can be another way. So let's look at these different ways. There are many ways here. So direct sales, franchising, retail, brick and mortar store. अच्छा, जब कभी भी हम brick and mortar store कहेंगे, this is the oldest one, जो physical store है. तो आप जाते हैं कभी market में, the stores which you see, these are brick and mortar stores. इनका ये specific नाम दिया गया because this is a physical store and it has been physically constructed out of bricks and mortar. The other models are direct sales and franchising. Okay, let's look at each. Direct sales. Company has sales agents who sell directly to customers. There is no retail shop location. आप देखिए, यूरेका फॉर्ब्स जो वाटर फिल्टर्स बनाती है या जो वैक्यूम क्लीनर्स बनाते हैं, इनका कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि their sales agents go from house to house and they sell, or they set up some sort of a like nowadays in the bigger towns, they may set up something on the roadside just to ask you to have a look at their product, and they will say that we will give you a demonstration at your home. वो घर पे आके करेगा. The first vacuum cleaner that I was bought from a Eureka Forbes sales agent who came to my flat to give me a demo. दूसरा होता है franchising. Now, anybody who wants to talk about franchising? Deepti, franchising क्या है?
Sir, franchisee, maybe I'm wrong, but franchisee is taking the products of a company as a retailer or a wholesaler and selling the product in the market.
Then if I go by your definition, I'm only saying this lightly lena hai isko. If I go by your definition, then if a paint company say अगर मैं products ले लेता हूं as a retailer and I sell it, will you call me a franchisee?
नहीं सर, पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड का प्रोडक्ट लेना पड़ता ना, तब तो.
हाँ तो ठीक है ना, मैं एशियन पेंट्स का ले रहा हूँ पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड.
हो सकता है सर.
See, okay, I'm just basically joking. It cannot be just that. What happens in a franchisee is the entire business model is given to somebody who will then take that model to sell to the customers. I'll give you a very nice example here from McDonald's. अगर कभी आप लोगों को मौका मिले ना तो go to YouTube. एक पिक्चर है इंग्लिश मूवी called The Founder. The Founder. Founder. If you ever watch English movies, this actor is a very well-known actor जो इसमें एक्ट किया है. You will see how the McDonald's franchisee model was starting. McDonald's का जो मॉडल है इसका जो बर्गर्स ये बनाते हैं, both of you have been to McDonald's. कभी न कभी तो गए होगे ना?
Yeah, right.
हाँ.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure you have gone to McDonald's in different parts of the country, or let's say in the same town, different McDonald's outlets.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What was your what is what can you say about it? क्या ऐसा चीज आपको लगा इसके बारे में? Your impressions about
Different
it.
people at different place, but the taste was the same.
The taste was the same. So standardization had taste. Okay. Then
But
the look.
Sorry,
The-
sir, but
Huh.
I want to interrupt. But in Hyderabad, it's totally different as compared to Delhi, Ghaziabad, and other state. In Hyderabad, taste also different. We didn't
Next.
get that taste.
Particular area
just-
they make some innovations like when McDonald's came to India, they focuses mainly on vegetarian burgers rather than focusing on non-vegetarian things.
Very true. Okay, see what you're saying, Dipti, is na, they came with a standard product. What
Yes.
Vivek is saying is that they went beyond the standard product and they also introduced products which are the favorites for that particular region.
Particular area. Right.
But if you go for the standard McDonald's burger, na, classic, you will find it is the same in Delhi, the same in Varanasi, and the same in Hyderabad.
Yes, sir.
वो जो classic burgers इसके हैं, that will be the same. You are absolutely right. If I have a McDonald's burger in Bangkok, that taste is different for those particular, let's say, items on the menu, which are for the local residents. Or in Ahmedabad, there may be a McDonald's which does not have chicken. Because they find that their market, they don't appreciate non-veg. By the same logic, in Hyderabad, it doesn't make sense to have a vegetarian burger, It's better to stay with non-veg. Because
Right,
most
sir.
people who will come there will be looking for non-veg. That is a slight tweaking of the model. But see, taste is one aspect. Think of other things which you may have found in the store, which apart from taste. What else can you think of between 2 or 3 McDonald's outlets which you have been to? Anything else which you found which is the same?
Services and the products are the same.
Services and products are the same type. See, the model is the same. You go, you line up at the counter, you look at the images of the burgers, you choose one. The pricing will be the same. Then the way they give it to you, same,
Yes, sir.
more or less,
That's
time
the-
taken, same. And the look of the restaurant, the look of the
That
entire
also.
place,
Yes.
that is also the same. So it is a standard thing. Everything is the same. Now, if you go abroad also, if you go outside India and you order the chicken classic burger, you will find it tastes the same. And it is a matter of, see, suppose you go outside, you're not okay with the food which you are getting. आपको लग रहा है कि भाई हमारा जो ट्रेडिशनल खाना है वो मुझे मिल नहीं रहा है, and then you see a McDonald's. और आपको लगता है कि यार ये तो हमारे कंट्री में भी था, इसमें एक बार ट्राई करके देख लो, and you go there and you find on the menu the same items which you see in Delhi or Hyderabad, anywhere. And then you order that. And when it comes to you, you find the taste is also the same. So you feel very good. This is a very good thing. This is a franchisee model. So basically what is happening is they have developed a certain way of making a burger. They have developed a certain way of delivering it to the customer. That exact process from the making of the burger, of the patty, to the delivery to the customer, to the ambience of the place where he will eat it, the look of the tables, the, you know, that you have the image of, that model, the McDonald's things sitting outside on a bench. That will always be there. That is the franchise. If you look at the founder, you will see that originally this was one shop, only one shop, running in one place in California. And then somebody came. Watch the film. There's a person called Ray Kroc. This fellow's name was Ray Kroc, K-R-O-C. And Kroc came and he told these guys, you have an excellent thing here, but you are confining yourself to one city. So this is not the way to do it. If you want to make money, you allow other people to make exactly this quality of burger and sell it. And finally, he is able to do that. And he sets these up all over America initially. And it becomes a grand success. Because everywhere, what you people mentioned about the taste, about the look of the place, the way the food is given, every single thing, the products on the menu, all those things were made, they made sure it is the same across all over America. And when they did this, basically, they were able to create this concept of franchising. So the whole business model from start to finish is basically licensed to someone. I allow that person to use this business model to make money, but then I take a good part of the profit. What is the benefit I am getting? Without actually being involved in the sales, I am getting a profit on the sales. I am only giving them a formula. This is the way in which you can make money. This is a tried and tested product that the customers want. Sell this to them. It should taste like this. Your store should look like this. The way you accept the order, the time you take to deliver should be like this. And if you can do all these things, if it works in one place, it will work in the other place also. Later on, they realized that it would be possible to do this not just in America, but it would be possible to do this across the world. And they were able to create this all across the world. And then on that pattern, you have so many other shops which are doing the same thing. So while it is there, you can see it in Pizza Hut, for example, you can see it in the Burger Craft, in all these. But this is the food segment, or the fast food segment is only one example. Then you can see this so much in the entire in the range of clothes which are available. For example, you take jeans. You have the same model. You go to a Levi's store which sells jeans in Hyderabad or in Varanasi, chances are they will look pretty similar. The products will be similar. The price range will be similar. The only difference can be that maybe some markets like certain types of jeans, so those jeans are available there. Other markets, they like different types, those are available there. So that is how some difference comes. So this is a franchise model. The easiest way to, whenever you think of franchise, think of the fast food places, Subway, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. That is the easiest way to remember. And the experience which you have there, everything that you experience, that is what the franchise is all about. Clear this point?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's look at this other one, subscription model. Now, subscription models are where you are given a, so this is nothing to do with franchise. This is absolutely a different way of making money. I have a service which I can provide. But if you want this service, you subscribe. Okay, so if you subscribe for this, take the simplest type. I want to buy a digital newspaper. Before, when I was your age, if I wanted to read a newspaper, I would buy a normal broadsheet. You know, the paper was there, and I would buy it from a newsstand. I would read that. Or I would have an arrangement with someone who would deliver the paper every day to my home, and I will read that. Today, it makes more sense to read it on my mobile or on my laptop. But how do I get this every day? I subscribe. Who do I subscribe to? I subscribe to, let's say, the Hindu, or to the Times of India, or to the Indian Express, or the print. Anybody, any paper which I feel is the sort of paper which I like, I go for that. This is a subscription model. Now, the subscription model for newspapers is one example, but I'll give you a different sort of example from the world of business. Like you have banks. I've been a banker. So one of the services which a bank subscribes to is a credit rating service or a credit information service. Let's say Vivek goes to a bank and he wants a loan. Now the bank wants to know what is the credit history of Vivek. Credit history means from the time Vivek began taking loans, how many loans has he taken? From which banks has he taken loans? What exactly has he taken the loans for? And has he repaid them on time? Or has he defaulted on some installments? Every single thing that Vivek has done is, if he has taken a loan from a bank, is available digitally with a credit information company. One of the biggest and most well-known credit information companies in the country is CIBIL, the Credit Information Bureau of India Limited. Now, all banks, how does CIBIL work? It first gets RBI's approval to ask banks to give them data on loans. So every quarter, every bank will give its entire loan data to CIBIL. So what will happen is, over a period of time, CIBIL has a huge database in which every single borrower of every bank, his loan history is available with them. Not just loans, credit cards also. Every single thing is available with them. And how do they identify a customer? Through the PAN card, basically, through the address, all the KYC that you do at a bank, the Aadhaar card these days, all these things will allow it to, because see, there may be 101 people with the name Vivek. But Vivek with this PAN card number, there will only be one. Vivek with this Aadhaar card number, there can only be one, because these are, the Aadhaar card specially is based on biometrics, on fingerprints. So we don't have any problem there. Now, how does the bank gain? The bank then subscribes to a service provided by CIBIL. What is the service? Whenever the bank wants to know what is the credit history of somebody who has applied to it for a loan, it just has to put the name and PAN number and Aadhaar number of that person into, just ask a question from CIBIL. If this is the name, give us the credit history. And CIBIL will give the entire credit history. Not only will CIBIL give a credit history, CIBIL will also give a score. It will give this person, the score is just like the score you get in an exam. How good of a borrower is this person? So the score, if it is more than 800, is considered to be good. If it is less than 800, but let's say more than 700, it's considered to be average. And if it is less than, let's say 600, it will be considered to be someone who is not so good at repaying loans. Now, what happens is, if I am a bank and I know this about my customer, it makes it easy for me to decide whether I will give him a loan or not. And since this data is available to me on a almost up till the last quarter, the maximum age it can have is 3 months. Up till 3 months ago, the entire credit history of that borrower is known to me, of that person who has applied to me for a loan is known to me. So I am in the perfect position to make a decision here. Should I or should I not give? This is a subscription model. Okay. So just trying to show you different models. Now, there is another concept here. So internet comes. We began to have e-commerce models. In the next slide, we look at the e-commerce parts. Now, along with the e-commerce model is sometimes called a click model, because basically you think of your mouse, if you use a mouse for your laptop or your PC. So basically it's a click model in the sense that you click till you reach the particular tab that you want and you go ahead and get what you want. Now, some companies, they combine physical with the e-commerce. So that is called a brick and click model. Just trying to get you familiar with the words that I use. That is a brick and click model. So it is combining physical presence with an online presence. And then you have something which again is very interesting, which is called a freemium model or an advertising-based model. You think of YouTube. Now, YouTube, you are free to upload anything on YouTube. Anything you want. For example, this class of ours. This is also being uploaded to YouTube. Now, once it is there on YouTube, somebody who wants to get an idea about what YSI is doing, what is the quality of classes in YSI, they can come to YouTube and they can have a look at the classes which were recorded and which are available there. And then based on what they see, it makes it easy for them to make a judgment. One example, I want to listen to a song, an old song. I can search for that song on YouTube and I can listen to that song. Now, when we listen to the song, YouTube doesn't charge us anything. See, if I am not a subscriber of YouTube, YouTube does not stop me from seeing any video, from listening to music, from looking at a video. It doesn't stop me from doing anything. It is absolutely okay with me coming without paying anything. So it's free. Okay, it's free. Where does YouTube make its money then?
Monetization of channel means after the subscription or something from advertisement.
From advertisement.
If we will start earning, so they will charge us.
So basically what happens is that when the number of people who are watching a particular show, it increases. Then YouTube finds that so many customers are coming every day and listening to the music here. So I can sell and have an advertisement here. So what will happen is that when the person comes, they will first make you listen to a 30-second ad, which is compulsory. And then only you will be able to listen to the music. And sometimes if it is a very long album, even in between, they will stop the music and they will show the ads and again resume the music after that. So basically what happens is they will earn some revenue from there. And as they begin to earn revenue, to encourage you, they will pass back some of that revenue to you if you have a large number of subscribers. So this particular concept is a freemium model. So it is essentially free, but it is monetized by getting ads into place. Now let's look at the e-commerce models. So e-commerce, the buying and selling of goods and services over a digital and electronic network. Okay. Now here, if you look at this, in this year, it is estimated that the e-commerce revenue will grow to $111 billion. It's a huge amount. So basically what is happening is that more and more people are shifting from physical to online. Because it's more convenient. It is delivered to your home. And I think another part, at least in our country, in India, is that going out today, because of the heavy traffic, pollution, things like that, it becomes more, it's more stressful for us and it is more time consuming. So because of that, many people are preferring to go this route. Then take the first type, B2B. So what is B2B?
Business to business means not to include the local
Sir,
customer.
buyer to buyer directly.
No, business to business. So the buyer should not be an individual. See, the word which is used here now, when you say business, it is a business. It is running some sort of a business. The word buyer is not used. The word here is consumer. So there, what you are calling buyer to buyer is actually C2C. Consumer to consumer. We'll come to that. But B2B is business to business. Now, these are marketplaces to connect businesses. Okay? Both the seller and the buyer are businesses. These are not individuals. They are not the end user. See, the basic difference is a business will buy something for you, not to consume the way we consume. Like you buy a pizza, you eat it up. A business is buying something from you to sell to someone else. That is the basic difference between the individual and the business. Now, the minimum order size will naturally be large because this is the business. An individual will buy only for himself. But since a business will buy for all its customers, the order size is going to be larger. And the buyers here can request for quotations. If I want to buy a Domino's pizza, I can't request for quotations now. I look at their menu, I see the prices, and that's it. Here, I can actually request for a quotation. Examples, IndiaMart.com, IndustryCart.com, these are business to business. So we normally don't use this. Now, the company that is running the marketplace is a B2B model itself. The seller of the goods are selling to businesses using the marketplace. These sellers are also another example of B2B model. Okay. If you find that confusing, just go for this. Just remember it like this. If both sides are businesses, one is selling, one is buying. In India, there is one legal aspect to be noted. The entity that is running the marketplace, IndiaMart.com, cannot be one of the sellers. It cannot produce and sell its own goods on this site. This is a rule in India. Basically, they don't want the, like IndiaMart or whoever is the e-commerce platform to have an unfair advantage, over the others. Then you have B2C. So what is B2C now, Deepti? Business to
customer. Business to customer.
Okay, fine. This is an inventory-based business model. Here what happens is, this is a virtual version of a brick and mortar store. For example, let's say that I want to buy I'll give you an example I have used actually. You have these low priced garments now sold under the brand Max, MAX. You'll find if you go to a mart, you will have these stores, Max.
Max.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
right, sir.
Now, Max also has a website. And sometimes when you go to the store and you find that something which you like, that particular garment is not available in your size. So the salesperson there will tell you, sir, take it from our website. So this is not Amazon. This is their own website. So when you go to their website, you look for the product that you want and you place the order there and it is delivered directly to your home. I tried it once, it works quite well. This is B2C. The business is Max, the customer is me. Okay, so this is one. In this model, the seller sells to anyone who comes to his website and places an order. So this is just like your physical shop, but with one difference, it is happening digitally. If you want, you can go to this site, shopify.com, and check out the way a seller can use Shopify to create his own website and sell goods. Vivek, you might want to do this. Have a look at this. Shopify.com. Just see what they will basically do is they will help you to create your own website, and you can use this website then to make sure that your product is, let's say, more visible to customers. So Shopify helps to make your website visible through its SEO features. Any idea about SEO? Anyone? SEO is search engine maximization. What does this mean? Like, for example, if you go to Google, you go to the search page in Google and you type something, anything, the order in which the different pages are given, that decides where you click. If I go, let's do it now. Suppose I take my mobile, I go to Google and I write, let's say, think of something, retail store selling garments. See, I type this, retail store selling garments. Based on my location, a certain order is given here. The first one on the page, the first result on the page here is the apparel store. You can't see this, but I'm reading it out to you. The first one is the apparel store. The second one is SJ Fashion Best Cloth Store. The third one is Cloth in Store. Why did they choose this?
Sir, according to our past research or history of our mobile phone.
Actually, it has nothing to do with me. If anybody else sitting in this location, where I am right now in Pune, if someone types this, he will get the same result. He will get this, the apparel store. Because the words that I have used, what did I say? Retail, garment. My exact search words were retail store selling garments. Basically, what the algorithm of Google does is it searches the entire web to look at where these words are there the most. In which website does this come in exactly the way I have written it, or at least close to this? And it will give those. The only difference is that nowadays, because it is so advanced, it is filtering it as per the location of the searcher. I searched it from Pune, so it is giving priority to those particular stores which are in Pune. If you do the same search in Varanasi, you have your phone with you, na, Deepti?
Yes,
Deepti, you have your mobile with you?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Type this. Type exactly this. Retail store selling garments. Retail store selling garments.
Sir, it's showing Pantaloon, Max, and
Exactly. And those will all be local. They're all there.
MP
yes,
Fashion, Fashion House.
What are you getting? Yeah, Vivek?
I'm getting local shops near me.
Yes.
Pagan Germans and some of more
So
those
see,
means search engine optimization, like that.
this search
Brand
engine
house.
optimization that we have done here, what they are doing is they are looking for these words, looking at where these words are available in somebody's site, in somebody's website, and then filtering it as per our location. So your location, it is giving those. In my location, it is giving the apparel house. In Deepti's location, it is giving pantaloons. Because these words will be there in so many websites. But I would not be particularly, it will be make no difference to me if they give me something in Hyderabad. Because I will not go to Hyderabad to buy it. So they know that for me, it makes more sense to give me something here in Pune. So it is filtering it like that. Now, so basically, Shopify will help you to appear if somebody searches for, whatever service you are providing, your particular website should appear a little higher on the results page. Because if you are in page number 32, because when you do this thing, Google tells you that how many results are there. No? And in that case, it is very, if you are on, let's say, very, very low in the order, then nobody will ever reach you. Do you ever go beyond the first 2-3 pages? Normally, whenever we look at Google, we normally stick to the first few results. At most, we will look at that page. Very rarely do we go even to the second page. But Google will tell you that there are 75,000 results here. And there are hundreds of pages. So, for us, if we are trying to sell something, it becomes important for us to appear on that first page. Only then is there a chance of someone clicking. And that is where search engine optimization comes in. So something like Shopify will help you with this. Okay, one example. Now let's look at e-commerce businesses. B2C models can also set up own website, use its own marketing techniques. Think of Lenskart. Lenskart is typical B2C. Lenskart is the business. Anybody else who wants to buy glasses, contacts, anything, they are the customers there. You can place orders directly on Lenskart or you can visit a Lenskart store. So it's brick and click. Both are there. Okay. Lenskart is offering a large number of products for sale. These can be bought directly from its website. Then you come to B2C, non-inventory based. Best example is Amazon. So here what is happening is Amazon does not maintain inventory. Its seller maintains, the sellers there are maintaining the inventory. Of course, Amazon has now changed this, where they have also begun warehousing, and that so the model has expanded. If you go to this web link, I'll be sharing this to you in a few days, this particular PPT, you will see the FAQs, the frequently asked questions for the seller. Suppose as a seller, you want to register on Amazon. What are the things which Amazon is looking for? What are the conditions that you have to satisfy? That is something you will get here. So you will get a feel for this whole thing, this whole B2C area. Now you look at C2C. So customer to customer, can you think of any such thing where both sides, it is just an ordinary customer like you and me? Deepti, you should be able to answer this.
So OLX.
Excellent. In this model, a third party creates a website. Any customer can register on the website as a buyer or a seller. Keep thinking OLX. The transactions are done on the site and payment is made through the site. Delivery is made by the seller. Okay. So what are the examples here? One is OLX. Another is Magic Bricks. Magic Bricks is about property. So people who have property, some people want to buy property, some people want to sell property. Magic Bricks connects these two. Both are individuals. Okay. So this is an idea about different business models that we have. So we looked at the concept of business model from two angles. First was we looked at it from the way a company actually makes a profit, starting from what product it has, and then how exactly which market it actually goes to, its marketing strategies, how it manages to make that product, etc., and finally it makes profit. And then we looked at this part. How is that delivery to the customer actually made? Is it done through a franchise? Is it done through a direct sales approach? Is it done through a brick and mortar store? Is it a brick and click model? Is it C2C? So we looked many of these models have only come in the last decade or so, last 10 years, after, technology has made it possible to do these things. So once the technology came, this whole thing became much, much more interesting. Otherwise, in the old days, probably you just had direct, physical stores or maybe franchises. Beyond that, and direct sales, stores and franchises. This whole digital thing has come much, much later. But it has opened up the market for companies. Now we come to another part. So I'm trying to look at these key words, in this area, this management area. We looked at value proposition. Now let's look at value chain. Another big word. So the value chain covers the various activities that a business undertakes while conducting its activities, its business. It starts with the first purchase of raw material, moves on to processing, marketing, and sales. Now, at each stage, you can add value. Concept is, adding value means, in the long run, it basically means achieving a better quality and cutting down on the cost of production. So, from the stage when you actually buy the raw materials, I would say even before that. For example, Deepti, you were talking about diversification of your financing. In fact, that is also a way of increasing the value. If you can somehow ensure that your cost goes down, that itself will be a way of adding to the value. Because anything that reduces cost will ultimately increase profit. Now, a good CEO of a company can cut costs at different points in the value chain and also use these different segments to popularize the company's products and build brand loyalty. Okay, so we'll look at this. Let's start with one. Inbound logistics. That means warehousing, inventory management. It's a big company. So it has to get its raw materials. These raw materials have to be warehoused. They have to put in a warehouse. Stock of raw material is built up before my actual production process starts. Now, to get it here, how does it come? Let's say it's brought by road transport. Then this is one area I can look at. What is the cost of transporting from the supplier to my warehouse? As a CEO, what am I looking at? Can I cut down on these costs? Can I use bigger trucks? Can I do something which will cut down on the cost here? Okay. Operation processes, any process that adds value. So basically, once I get the raw materials, I process it through the machines that I have. Now, this particular area, the machines, this is an area where the main value is added. The product is made here. The quality of the machines that I have, the level of technology that I'm using, the type of personnel that I have, every single element here will ultimately reflect in the end product that I have. So this is number two. Number three is I have the product now. And now I'm getting into marketing and sales. The product has no meaning until I can connect that product to the persons who want to buy them, to the customers. And the customers are there somewhere hidden in the market. So I have to get my message to them. So through my marketing, I create this image of my company. I make my company visible. I make my product or service visible. And once I do that, then my sales team can begin to generate leads. They can go and meet people who actually will buy the product, who are potential buyers. And then I can get them to actually purchase the product. So this is the part three. Then four, outbound logistics. Once I have my customers, I need to get my goods from my factory to the place of sale. If I'm using a distribution chain, it has to go to my wholesaler and then onward to the retailer, etc., etc. Once again, there will be, a need for warehousing, inventory maintenance, shipping goods to customers. All these points are all cost centers. Everywhere, some money is being spent. And as a CEO, as a person who is looking into the management of these things, it is your job to look and see whether you can actually make the process more efficient and less costly. If you can do that, then you will have reduced your cost, and that will lead to an increase in the profits of the company. And then finally, once your product has been sold, the last stage is that you have to provide after-sales service. This may not be applicable for all products, but for a very large range of products, this is important. So this is again something where if you do this well, if your after-sales service is good, it will ultimately affect your, or maybe improve the sales that you are making. So value, like I say in the, in the yellow box circle, in the oval in the middle, a value can be added at any of these stages. Remember, value is doing that particular, the work of related to that particular stage much more efficiently at a lower cost, less time. In the operation stage, better quality. So it's a continuous process, and each of these processes have to work together. So this is the concept of a value chain here. Now, the business strategy is to unlock the value at all these stages in the value chain. So you understand, your value chain is moving from the raw material stage right up to the service stage. So from raw materials, it is going on to finished product. Then it's moving into a slightly different area where the finished product is being marketed, leads are being generated, then the sales activity takes place, then the actual delivery of the goods takes place. And then once the goods are delivered, the service aspect comes. Now, this will change slightly where we are providing a service. But broadly, the number of stages may be less in that case, but otherwise the flow is the same. So, any questions here? Deepti, Vivek?
Sir, after selling the product, means service warranty or all those things, it will directly impact to the sale.
Yes, it will have an impact now. All these things will, if your service is good, then people will have more confidence when they buy your product because they know. I'll give you a very simple example. If I want to buy a washing machine, I find a number of people have told me this, that they prefer to buy LG products. Why? Because the LG service is very good as compared, let's say, with Whirlpool. Just giving you a random example, this is based on what I have heard. But for these people who told me this, the reason for buying that particular brand is the service. They say that the quality of the product itself, the washing machine, let's say they are buying, is the same. There's no big difference between, let's say, Whirlpool and an LG washing machine. But both machines at some point of time will require to be serviced. When it requires to be serviced, which particular company offers an easier service? Where I can, just call and I get somebody to come, a technician comes, has a look at it and fixes it. And of course, the cost part is important. When the service is provided, is it provided at a reasonable cost or not? So that service part, if once I begin to build up this, this reputation of providing good service, what will happen is that people will prefer to buy my product. This comes very clearly now when you want to buy a vehicle. If you want to buy let's say a motorcycle or a scooter or a car, it becomes a very, very critical thing. Because you know that you will require service pretty frequently. Otherwise, the vehicle will, after some time, it won't run so smoothly. So at that point of time, you will naturally give preference to those particular automakers who have an excellent reputation for service. So one of the reasons that, let's say, somebody buys a Maruti car is the service network. Tata also manages to sell on the strength of its service network. So the product is one thing, but a product not backed by good after-sales service will not sell. Especially in those for those products where service is important. Like, let's say I'm buying a TV. In the case of a TV, I don't expect the TV to break down often. I don't expect, like frequent service. Mostly the experience is that you buy a TV, it works till you get fed up with it or till new technology comes in, and then you sell this and exchange it for something for a new model. Basically, this is what happens. So this is about this value chain thing so far. And then we come to the last part of this unit, which is the business level strategy. So now this business level strategy is a different thing. So we will touch this on on the next time we meet on Saturday. For the moment, we will more or less bring our class to an end here. Any questions, Vivek?
No, sir.
All okay?
Yeah, all okay.
Did you learn something today?
Sir, give me, sir.
So I want both of you to take a little notebook or take a page in your, if you have a notes app in your mobile, and write down one or two. Acha, great. You have a whole exercise book there. So write one or two things which you did not know, which you found out today in class. Or if you knew, your concept was a little clearer. So that will be the value that you got from this class. Value proposition. Huh? So you learn something new every class. That is what I am offering. So what did you learn today that you did not know? Or was there a concept that was clarified during the course of this class? Something that you discussed. So if you give me that feedback, it will help me to fine tune this better. And at the end of the day, I'll also feel that I contributed something to your knowledge. Okay. So we had a good first week. Both of you have been very good at listening to what I said. You have both participated very nicely. So thank you for that. And good night.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, stay safe, both of you. Bye.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Nice, sir. Bye.